Good morning everyone, it is Sunday morning. The clocks went back last night so we gained an extra hour, so I'm actually not sure what time it is. I think it's around 11 o'clock. We're going to take Roxy for a nice walk because it's sunny and we're trying to make it a habit that we go on like a walk somewhere new at the weekends rather than just kind of doing the local walks that we know. The other day, I don't know if you can tell, I got an eyelash lift and tint, and I also tinted my eyebrows. So right now I don't have any makeup in my eyebrows and no makeup on my eyes, and yes, I'm quite happy. It's very natural, but it means, for example, right now I've just got some tinted moisturiser on, the Bare Minerals one, and it kind of looks like I've got makeup on and I look like I'm done, and I just hate taking mascara off, so I thought I would give this a go, and I actually think this is going to be something that I do all the time, and I'm interested to see what it would look like with mascara. Maybe it will make my eyelashes look extra curly, so yeah, kind of nice. My eyebrows are dark anyway, and I need to get like a little eyebrow brush because they always lay flat, but I don't have one, so they're not looking, they would look better if they were brushed up, but I don't have one of those brushes, so I need to try and find one. Anyway, I'm gonna go see what Alex is doing and then we can get going and take you along with us. And I thought I would do a little bit of an update with Roxy because recently, I think like a few weeks ago, it was a year since we got Roxy and since we adopted her. So I kind of thought it'd be nice to do a little bit of an update because a few of you have asked that I do one, like a year of having her and our experience. So maybe we'll do that later and talk a little bit about her and how she's doing. She's in the hallway right now, very impatiently waiting, because usually in the mornings on a weekday I wake up and like at 8 AM I walk her. So I'll wake up and do, you know, chores and bits and have coffee and things, and then I walk her when it's like the sun starts to come up. And she is not used to it. She doesn't like it at the weekends. She's like, why are we not going out? But we like to take her on longer walks at the weekends so she gets more exercise, because she is a Cocker Spaniel and she needs lots of exercise. So let's see what Alex is up to. Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
My list.
Alex is doing his to-dos. Roxy is saying, excuse me, please can we go? Please can we go?
The book you left on display in the
Oh yeah.
last video.
Alex is angry with me because he edited the video and I left that book in the shot. And he's like,
I'm sure she'll move it in. Just let
sorry, little Roxy. Hey little Roxy. How are you doing? What's your update? Are you going to tell everyone how you're doing? How are you doing, Roxy? I do get random people saying to me what breed she is. So on a basic level, Roxy is a Cocker Spaniel. She's a show cocker. Gosh, it's focusing on the background. Aren't you, little one? And she's this kind of, she's not a golden Cocker Spaniel because she's got these white bits, but I think maybe it's like a golden roan or something like that. I can't remember the marking name for her. We adopted her a year ago and she's 5.5? Mm-hmm. So she's 5.5. We adopted her when she was 4.5, obviously. And she's just the dream. Aren't you, Rosie? She's adorable, and I love telling people that we adopted her because everyone who meets her is like, she is so cute. She looks like a puppy. I feel like Cocker Spaniels always look like puppies. We adopted her from Spaniel Aid, and I just think it's a nice thing. Every time someone says to me, oh my gosh, she's so cute, I'm like, yeah, we adopted her from Spaniel Aid, to try and sort of encourage others to adopt, because you can get gorgeous dogs, and you can get dogs that need homes through adopting. You don't need to go and get a puppy new, like from a breeder. You can get the dog that you want. What?
A new puppy.
A new puppy, yeah.
Get a used, like new condition.
You know what I mean. But you can get the dog breed that you're after. There will usually be a charity out there for the dog that you want, the breed that you want, and just persevere. Look on Facebook, join all of the sites that have dogs up for adoption, and be persistent and keep applying, and you'll get the dog that you're after, and the dog that otherwise would have been, you know, without a home. This little one is just the happiest little dog ever. Aren't you? Look at these, listen to these snuffles. You ready to go?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah, I just want to lie on the sofa.
You were the one who said we should do this.
I know.
It was Alex's idea.
Out of like duty, not because I really wanted to.
Duty?
Yeah,
That's the good thing about having a dog, is that it makes you get up and out of the house. Because otherwise on a Sunday we may be tempted to just lie on the sofa, which, as fun as it is, at the end of the day you feel a bit like, oh, what did I do with my day? So it's lovely to have a dog that makes you go out on an adventure, doesn't it? So we're going to go now, get our jackets on, get in the car and go. Where's Daddy? Where is he? There he is. Where's Daddy? Where is he? There he is.
Wow.
We've decided to come to Devore, and we said we were going to go to Helford, but it got a bit late and it was like half an hour to drive, so we're at Devore and we're going to go find the pub because that's where I think the walk starts. I've got my new Finisterre hat and coat on. The cosiest things ever. This coat is amazing. It's got like insulation and this lovely shearling, kind of faux shearling hood, and this lovely little beanie that's keeping my hair out my face. Alex says I look really young in this.
Yeah, I think it's because I've seen pictures of you in hats and it covers your forehead. You look a bit like a child.
It's so comfy though, I love it. I don't know why I stopped wearing these, because it's just so great to keep your hair out your face and also keep your ears warm. And yeah, I'm loving this coat. I've already worn it so much since I got it.
Recycled, or bits of it?
Yeah, like Finisterre is a Cornish brand, and they do a lot towards being as sustainable as possible. So I love them as a company, and I just wanted to invest in a really great winter coat that's waterproof, warm, because I just walk Roxy every day, so I didn't have one, so it was about time. And yeah, now I've got to figure out which way it is that we're walking. Just walked past the surgery and the village hall. I think we're trying to find the pub.
It's got to be this way.
Yeah. There is holly, which means it's Christmas, right? Oh my gosh, I want to pluck it and put it in my house now. For all my fellow dog owners, these leads are so useful. I know it's not like anything new, but honestly, for going on a run with your dog or going on like a longer walk, it just saves you from holding. So you've got two free hands, I'm holding the camera, and it just wraps around your waist, and it's so useful. And then when I let her off, I just wrap it around again, and then it's got another loop here, so it just becomes like a little belt, so I don't have to worry about it. One of the best doggy purchases I've ever made. We're just exploring at the minute, trying to figure out where it is that we're supposed to walk. Ah, public footpath, but that's going away from the sea. Let's go, carry on this way.
A lot of people walking this way, so
I think we're just gonna
see what they do.
Walk until we're bored and then turn around and go back to the pub.
Sign to nowhere.
Sign to nowhere. No, I think this is the path that you can take when the tide is low, and you can walk along the mud flats. Look at this old mine. Cannon mine.
How old is that wood? That's from a boat.
Oh wow. Coaster carrying coal and general cargo until 1936. Built in 1896. It's cool they've kept it here, though leaving it out in the rain sure is just going to make it rot. There's a table set up. Have a picnic.
Some sort of post-apocalyptic zone.
What? I like how Alex always goes to that sort of space. He goes into the future, post-apocalyptic, and all I can think of, like, imagine in the past like sitting here.
I was thinking that first, but then just looking at the chairs with the slats missing and like a kayak that's full of water.
No, I think of like the history of it. But that's the difference between the two of us. I like thinking about the good old days. Although you do like the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
Look at that house there. Imagine living there. Imagine what their view is like. Like your view is this every single day. Wow. She hates being on the lead right now. She's like, excuse me, Mammy, no, do not jump at me. You're muddy. Quite a few abandoned ships. Ships, boats, like that one there. What?
That little black pole to your left. Sticking out the water.
Oh yeah, do you think that's a boat? Must be.
Or a submarine spine. Something to think about. Apocalypse.
Oh my god.
Does work?
Go on, try.
Don't drink this if it works. No. I don't know.
I just had a sneeze attack. We're having a snack. Got some my vegan baked cookies. I'll leave a link to my discount code below. What?
You sound ill.
I just sneezed. But yeah, if you want to buy this, it's really nice. I've got 35% off with the code Madeleine. And what was this one? Shrek.
It's a lemon one, sorry.
Lemon
Lemon drizzle was actually really good.
Tastes like lemon drizzle cake.
I think I've had this one.
That's nice. Roxy had a cookie as well. Not a human cookie, a dog cookie. Didn't you, Rosie? Are you sheltering? I'm gonna put my camera away though because it's raining. So one of the biggest improvements that Roxy has made is coming back when we call her, and it was a really long journey to get her this way because this was 6 months ago. She would not be stopping like she is at the minute. She would be disappearing. She would have gone into that field, she would have gone down the path, but you see how she's waiting for us. Roxy! Come on! Good girl. And that is literally the only reason why, because we use treats so much, and we've been doing that every single walk with her, just giving her so many treats whenever we call her name and also whenever she comes back to us. I started with training her on the lead and teaching her to understand that I was in charge, and keeping her like next to me when I walked. Obviously she was not doing that today because she was she's just hyper, and I don't want to like have to do it every single walk. Like hopefully over time she'll get much better, but I don't have to worry about her. Before it was very much like when she went out of sight I was like, is she gonna come back? Because she would often just disappear, and I'm just so proud of her that she doesn't do that anymore. And we can generally trust that she is always in the vicinity. Good girl, Roxy. So if any of you are struggling with the same thing, I'm not obviously a dog trainer, if any of you have been struggling with adopting a dog or getting a puppy and they're not like coming back to you and their recall isn't good, then just give them treats constantly on walks, and anytime they come back to you, anytime they're like behaving well, stood near you, just positive reinforcement. It's not about being angry at a dog or like disciplining a dog, because they don't respond to that, they don't understand what that means. It's not like with children where you can explain to them, you've been naughty and this is why we don't do these things. With a dog, they don't understand what that means. So you have to just make them happy and give them treats every time they are good. So that's the approach we're taking. And the next thing we need to overcome with her is her getting scared of other dogs. So when we're on walks, she will bark and run towards dogs, sometimes kind of lunge at them a little bit and whine, and I think it's just that she's scared. So that's our next thing that we're tackling, and trying to get her more reassured that everything's safe and everything's okay, And we're going to take the same kind of tactic, giving her lots of treats when she's good and trying to teach her that it's a safe environment to be in and that to follow our lead kind of thing. If we're happy and we're calm, then she should be as well. I'll leave a few videos that I watched down below that helped me with teaching her on a lead how to sort of not pull, and also how to teach her to come back, because they were really helpful. I just watched loads of YouTube videos and then implemented them. But essentially it's just take treats with you on every walk and reward your dog every time they come back to you. Because then she has like a general peripheral that she knows to always be in. So if we stop now, she'll come back because she's like, yeah, so she's like watching out for us. She generally won't go beyond that peripheral, and if she does, it's never for longer than like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to be very much, I'm off, I'm gone, and I don't care about coming back, which is obviously not a very reassuring feeling to have about a dog. Like right now, this was 6 months ago, I'd be panicking right now because I'd be like, where's she gone?
Yeah, you'd run after her.
Yes.
Which would make her.
That does not help.
further.
Actually, one of the tips is if your dog does run away and you notice it's like, sometimes Roxy, literally her eyes go black and I can like sense that she has smelt something, I would run after her because I'd be scared about losing her. You need to, if you sense that, run in the opposite direction so that they're distracted and they think that this is a game. So yeah, here she is. Hello, good girl. Well done. And also, when it comes to dogs, if you've adopted a dog, like a lot of it is just the fact that they have just been uprooted from their family. Like for Roxy, she'd been with a family for 4 years of her life and she was living with another dog. They need like time to actually get used to the fact that you're their new owner and trust you. And as much as she'll cuddle with us at night and, you know, we can tell she loves us, on a walk, she's kind of maybe not fully aware that we are in charge and we are, you know, the leaders. So you have to give dogs time to do that, and I know that in a year's time she'll probably have come leaps and bounds again. So I think it's this way. Also, you have to remember dogs are never perfect by all means, because she just ran into that person's house and wasn't coming back. It's always one step at a time. Dogs are never perfect, and you need to forget about the bad times and focus on the good ones.
As long as you keep reinforcing that when she comes back it's good. Because in like 6 months ago, I'll get frustrated. I'll be like, well, if she come back, I don't want to reward her because then she learns it's okay to run off.
Exactly.
But I don't think she's thinking I came back, I got a treat. So if I do that in the future, if I come back, I get a treat and it's good.
And that's understanding the psychology of dogs.
Yeah, because they're pretty stupid.
They're just not human. So you need to think like a dog, not like a human. Like they're not going to understand if they come back and you're like, no, bad dog, and you put them on the lead. They don't understand what that means. So you need to like think of a different way of doing it. She's now gone in someone's orchard. Roxy, come here.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, she is too many smells, and if she does get a bit like she starts to
Back on the lead, is it?
Yeah, if she starts to be a bit more like, you know, she's smelling lots of things and getting a bit excited, I do then put her on the lead, just because I don't, you know, it's about preempting behaviour as well. I can always see it in her eyes if she's getting too overstimulated. So how are you going to get back through this fence? Hey Rosie, how are you going to get through? Oh my god.
I think it's going to work.
It is. Just her harness.
Oh, careful.
Okay, hold this. Too much time off the lead, Missy. Rosie's getting bored and fidgety. Aren't you, Rosie? She's getting bored and fidgety.
She's like, why are you taking so long to drink your wine? Why are you talking about so many things, Mummy and Daddy? I want to go home. I want to go chase the birds by the water.
She just got herself wrapped. You know when dogs like wrap themselves around with their lead? And she was like growling at us. I was like, what's wrong? She got herself all trapped.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Rosie.
Rosie,
I'm not sure that you're allowed on this bench.
what are you doing?
Rosie. She's getting so impatient. Roxy. She's like, can we go home? I want some food. Rosie. We totally forgot to vlog it, but we just gave her a bath, didn't we, little Rosalind? She's as fresh as a daisy. Aren't you? Good girl. Alex is giving her some food now, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I hope that hasn't got dog food on it. And we're really like weaned off her medication now because she was unwell this year, which we'll give you a little update on in a bit, but she's now down to just 2 lots of medication and she's no longer on steroids, so she's made so much progress and she is like lots more healthy now and she's sort of in the sort of normal range of everything, so we're very happy. But I'll sit down with her when she's dry and like give you a little update on her health, seeing as this is a Roxy update, and finish the vlog. Yes, Susie?
When did you last make a video about, it was ages ago?
Well, I feel like the last time I made a video just about Roxy is when we got her. I talk about her a lot on like Instagram and on here, but I've not like just talked about her, and she's doing so well. I'm so proud, like in terms of her health and in terms of her behaviour and how she is. She's just like a different dog. She's like night and day. Like she's so happy, isn't she? Yeah. She was so moody when we got her and growly and angry with other dogs. And
staring moodily at me. I need to get in the fridge for her.
It's fine, you can get in the fridge. Yeah, she's like night and day. She's just... She's... There it is.
Oh my god.
She's just so much happier, and it makes me happy. But I think that's, you know, that is the case if you adopt a dog, because they've come from a stressful situation and then they're going to be, you know, obviously maybe missing their previous owners, confused at what's happening, and to see a dog go from being like as angry as she was. Am I in focus? I'm in focus now. But yeah, to see a dog go from being that angry and upset and she would sleep all day long to having her just be jolly and happy, excited to see my family and my friends that she now knows, and, you know, wanting to play, loving, you know, having her own little toys. And even the other day she played fetch with us, which she's never really done. It's amazing, and it just constantly gives, and that's why I really want everybody to consider rescuing or adopting a dog, because the transformation of that dog and knowing that they've come from a situation that you've saved them from and you've given them a home and you witness the change in them is just incredible. And she's just a different dog. Like my parents always say it, they see her and they're like, she's a different dog every time we see her. She's just so much happier. She's so excited to see them and she's just filled with love. And yeah, I'm so happy that we were able to give that to her. Post bath wrap up. She came over to me and she was like scratching me, and I think this is what she wanted. Brinky. Got the fire on to dry her off. Here, cutie pie. Rosie. That's all she wants. That's all dogs want. To be wrapped up, tucked in. Isn't that right? Hello everyone. It's the next day and I completely forgot to do that health kind of update about Roxy yesterday, so I thought I'd just quickly bring you up to speed, because at the start of the year, kind of basically just after lockdown started and everyone was kind of in quarantine and nobody was on the roads and you're only allowed to go out once a day, Roxy got very, very ill, and I shared a lot about it on my Instagram. I sort of documented the whole experience because it was terrifying, but I didn't necessarily talk about it as much on YouTube. I think that I made a video kind of around that time where I mentioned it, but I wasn't really making as many videos. I'm realising now how much of like a traumatic experience it was for me and for Alex, you know, in the height of a pandemic, to have, you know, we don't have children and Roxy is essentially our child and she means so much to us, and to have her nearly die was a very traumatic experience for us. So she developed a disease called IMHA, which is basically severe anemia, and
it's very common in Cocker Spaniels. I think it's something to do with their breed. It's especially more common in middle-aged female Cocker Spaniels. And yeah, she got very, very ill. And when a dog gets IMHA, they go downhill very quickly. And it was very terrifying. I think it was on the Friday we noticed that she hadn't been eating as properly and she was seeming a bit kind of down, but I was a bit like, I'm sure she's just eaten something funny. And then on the Saturday, she was really not well. She, for the first time ever, decided that she didn't want to come on a walk with us. And she wasn't eating at all. She was just sleeping, basically. And Roxy had never behaved that way. Saturday night, she deteriorated even more. And she started to kind of breathe very heavily and pant. And I remember messaging my family being like, do I contact the vet? But because there was a pandemic, you know, vets aren't operating in the same way. And I didn't want to be that person who rang the emergency number for my dog when she was just ill because she'd eaten something bad and I could wait till Monday. Which, in hindsight, don't ever do that. If your instinct and your gut tells you that there's something wrong, then reach out to a doctor or a vet, whatever scenario it's in, because usually your instinct is right. And I'm too much of a people pleaser and I think, oh, I don't want to disturb anybody, but that's literally what they're there for. So I didn't ring until the morning, and in the morning she was just, you know, she was so much worse. She'd been panting all night, and I rang first thing on the Sunday morning and was like, can we please have an appointment? And they said, we'll have to ring you back for an appointment. And then she started to get worse. I noticed that her tongue started to go blue and her gums. We took her outside to go to the loo and she collapsed. And at that point I rang the vet and said, I'm coming in. I can't wait for an appointment. I have to come in now because my dog is on, you know, she's just collapsed. So we took her to the vet and they said, yeah, that's fine, come in, it's an emergency. Took her in, and then I hoped that it would be something that they could give her that it would make her better again. And I got a really scary phone call from the vet basically being like, nope, she's really unwell and we need to decide whether it's one of these things. One of them, it might be IMHA. Turned out she had IMHA and her PCV, which is like her red blood cell count, had gone down to I think it was 16 at this point, and average where it should be is like 35 to 55. So it dropped very low and it continued to drop. So they were basically like, so we can either keep her here and monitor her, or you can take her to a specialist vet. So on the Monday we decided that's it, we're taking her to a specialist vet. We drove up to Bristol. And it was very weird, there was nobody on the roads. We took her to Bristol, she was there for a whole week, and they basically took care of her. She had to have a blood transfusion and she was, you know, on watch, and we had to wait for 2 phone calls a day, which was just horrific because we would sit there in the morning and wait for a phone call and they would tell us how she was, whether she was any better, whether she was worse. And some days she would get better. I think her count went down to like 8 at one point, and then it went back up to 12, and then she had a blood transfusion, went up to 24, and then went back down to 18, and it was just a roller coaster. And every day that passed we thought it was over, because it's a 50-50 chance whether a dog gets better or gets worse. And we thought at many times it was over. Alex and I had the worst week of our lives potentially because we couldn't see family or friends to distract ourselves, and I just think that the experience going on in the world made this experience so much worse, because it was like, why is this happening now? And then after about a week she had improved, she was doing a lot better, her PCV had gone up, and basically the steroids that she was put on started to work. So when a dog gets this diagnosis, it's basically a matter of time before the steroids, the sort of immunosuppressants, start to work. And they did. Lots of dogs, it's too late and it doesn't work quick enough, and that means that they, you know, don't make it, really sadly. But they did an incredible job and she made it, and we got to take her home, and we were just given very intense medication to give her and just to monitor her. And she was a different dog. She was not herself, didn't have the energy she used to, and ever since then we've just slowly watched her get better and better and had to slowly reduce her meds. And we had kind of like a sheet, a bit of information from that vet of how to be reducing her meds very slowly, and our vet followed up on that plan. She's still on medication, she's off her steroids, which is amazing, because that's the thing that obviously is scary to take your dog off if they have this disease. But she's off her steroids and she's just on other medication, which she'll be off of completely soon. and she'll be in remission from it. So yeah, she's done amazingly well. It was very stressful week and following months, because every time she wasn't 100%, I assumed that she was gonna, you know, go back and be ill again, and we would have to take her into the vet once a week to get her tested, her blood tests, and we'd have to wait all day to get the results, and sometimes it'd be 2 days, and it'd be very scary because I think, what if it's gone down again? But her PCV now is at 45, 47, which is perfectly in the middle of the normal range, which means she's doing amazingly, and yeah, she's great. The only side effect now is that she's lost a lot of her hair, which is normal when dogs go on steroids, and she has gained weight, but she'll slowly lose that weight, and I'm sure her hair will go back to normal. It really doesn't bother me whatsoever. Obviously, I just care that she's healthy and happy, and yeah, she's full of energy, and every week that passes, she gets better and better. And at the start, it's almost like a blur to me. I felt like my brain has blocked it out a little bit because it was so scary. Every week, I would be like, oh my gosh, she's actually like excitable and energetic, and she seems to be doing so much better. So I'm very proud of her. She's just sitting down in her bed here. I'm so proud of her, and she's doing amazingly well. And I genuinely believe that the fact that we were able to take care of her and afford to take care of her because we had insurance was the reason that we ended up with Roxy. You know, her previous owners may have not had pet insurance and may not have been able to afford to get her treatment. They may not have taken her to a specialist hospital, and the vet that was local to them may not have had enough experience with this disease to take care of her, because it is you have to act quickly and you have to do the right course of action in order for the dog to get better, or have any chance of getting better. So yeah, that's our update. If any of you have had dogs with IMHA, or have gone through that experience or are going through that experience, I'll leave a link to the Facebook group that I joined, which was really helpful and supportive. And if you have a dog, just be aware that this is a thing. And if your dog isn't acting as they usually are, check their gums, check their breathing, if they're panting, and don't hesitate to take your dog to the vet, because I want to raise awareness for this disease, because I was not aware of it. And had I been aware of it, on the Friday or the Saturday, I might have looked at her gums, I might have checked her heart rate, and thought about it and been a bit more persistent and just gone into the vets anyway. So that's a lesson learnt on my end. And now she does have a chance of relapsing. That's very real for dogs who've had this disease. But at least now we know the sort of symptoms and can hopefully catch it if it does happen again, but fingers crossed it doesn't. But anyway, I've talked for 9 minutes. I was trying to make it only like 5 minutes long because it's a long story. It's hard to explain all in one go, but I hope you enjoyed today's video and the little update, or the long update, it would seem. And I hope all of your little doggies are safe, and I'll answer any questions if any of you have any more in the comments down below, or maybe in another video. So I will see you in my next one. Make sure you're subscribed, give this video a thumbs up, and you can also go follow Roxy on Instagram, though I haven't posted there in a while. I'm going to try and start posting there more again. So yeah, we love our little Roxy, and go check out Spanielade if you're after a spaniel.